Imagine waking up one day and realizing everything is gone. Your job, your money, your future. The life you built sunk beneath a wave you never saw coming. But what if that wave wasn't your end? What if it was the beginning of something greater? What if the worst day of your life wasn't your undoing, but your beginning? Imagine everything you've worked for gone. Not slowly, not with warning, just gone. That was Zeno of Citium's reality. He wasn't born a philosopher. He didn't dream of founding a school of thought or leaving behind timeless wisdom. He was a merchant, a man of the sea, a man who lived by the tides, by the trade winds, by the weight of cargo in his ship's hold. His life was commerce, profit, and navigation, until the sea took it all away. His ship sank, dragging every coin, every crate, every plan beneath the waves. In an instant, Zeno lost not just his possessions, but his identity. Who was he without his business, without wealth, without a future? Alone in Athens, broke and disoriented, Zeno wandered aimlessly through the streets until he stumbled into a small bookstore. It wasn't ambition that led him there. It was grief. It was disorientation, and maybe in some quiet way, destiny. Inside, he picked up a book about Socrates. He didn't expect transformation, but something within him shifted. It wasn't a collapse, it was a cracking open, a sudden breath of clarity in the ruins of his former life. That moment, one shipwreck, one scroll, one spark, became the beginning of one of the most resilient and profound teachings the world has ever known: Stoic philosophy. A philosophy not born in wealth or safety, but in failure, in loss, in starting over. Zeno's path from merchant to founder of Stoic philosophy wasn't polished or grand. It was clumsy, raw, human. He had no famous lineage, no elite education, no cushion to land on. But he had a question that refused to leave him alone. What does it mean to live well, even when life doesn't go well? In search of answers, he studied under the Cynics, philosophers who lived in simplicity, sometimes even in the streets, who believed virtue was the only true wealth. His mentor, Crates of Thebes, once handed him a bowl of lentil soup and said, "If you want to be free, you must first learn to be laughed at." Zeno understood. He didn't need applause. He needed truth. Over time, Zeno began teaching in a public space known as the Stoa Poikile, the painted porch of Athens. He never built a school out of stone. His classroom was open air. His materials weren't textbooks, but conversations, observations, lived experience. He taught that philosophy wasn't reserved for scholars or royalty. It was for the butcher, the baker, the brokenhearted. It was for life. Zeno taught that virtue is the only good. That everything else, riches, beauty, status, even health, was neither good nor bad. Just external, just tools. You can prefer them. You can work for them. But your happiness can never be anchored to them, because storms will come, ships will sink. And if your peace is built on things that break, then so will you. What matters, Zeno said, is how you respond to what life gives you. Later, Stoics echoed his insight. Epictetus, born into slavery, said, "It's not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome and lifelong student of Stoic philosophy, wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't be. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." Zeno's ideas were clear but not easy. You can't fake them. Stoicism demands presence. It demands that you act with courage, with justice, with self-restraint and wisdom, no matter what your circumstances are, not because it will make life easier, but because it will make you stronger. And isn't that what we need today? In a world teetering with uncertainty, economic collapse, identity confusion, political tension, we build careers like ships, and when they sink, we believe we've sunk with them. But Zeno reminds us, you are not your business card, you are not your follower count, you are not the wave that knocks you down. You are the one who chooses how to steer when the waters rise. This isn't just ancient philosophy, it's deeply modern. Stoic philosophy is the backbone of one of the most widely used and researched forms of therapy. Today, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, teaches us what Zeno knew centuries ago. You can't always control the events of your life, but you can always control your interpretation. And so Zeno's teachings live on, not just in dusty libraries, but in therapy rooms, boardrooms, bedrooms. Anywhere someone chooses clarity over collapse, Zeno's spirit lives. There's a story about Zeno's final days. He was elderly, frail. One day he tripped, fell, and broke his toe. He took it as a sign. His time had come. With calm and presence he bowed, held his breath, and let life go. No panic, no pleading, just dignity, just acceptance. He lived and died the Stoic way. You might never teach under marble columns in Athens. You might never write a book or lead a school, but every thought you think, every action you take, every response you offer to life's chaos, that's your philosophy. That's your Stoa. Zeno never set out to become a philosopher. He simply refused to let misfortune define him. He didn't chase fame, he didn't chase comfort. He let hardship strip him clean. And in the quiet after the storm, what remained became a foundation, a new kind of strength, the essence of Stoicism. So the next time your life unravels, when you lose the job, when the relationship ends, when the dream dissolves, pause. Don't rush to rebuild. Ask yourself, what if this is not the end? What if this is your beginning? Zeno once said, I made a prosperous voyage when I suffered shipwreck, and maybe so will you. You don't need a perfect life to live with wisdom. You need a steady mind, a brave heart, and a willingness to begin again, even from nothing. That's the quiet power of Stoic philosophy. And it's as alive today as it was 2,300 years ago. So if you find yourself standing in the wreckage of what you thought your life would be, don't look away, look deeper, because maybe this isn't your failure. Maybe this is your foundation, your turning point, your porch. And if this story stirred something in you, pause, breathe, reflect. Lead not just with words, but with presence. And if you'd like more stories of inner strength, stillness, and ancient wisdom reshaped for modern life, subscribe to Stoic Leadership Insights. Let's rebuild leadership. Not from luxury or applause, but from clarity, from courage, from truth.